NCX Group, the leader in information security consulting, is proud to present Secure 2020. Here now is NCX founder and CEO, Mike Fitzpatrick.
We spend our day fighting fires rather than thinking strategically about what we need to do.
Well, I think that brings up a great point. A lot of the organizations that, again, we're working with in primarily healthcare and energy, we really don't find strategic thinking in the implementation of their security practice.
Right.
It's more this constant belief that if I apply the right technology, I'm going to solve this. It's also the belief that IT is the sole responsible party for data security, and that can be more further from the truth than anything else. So I guess the question is, out of the research that you've done, and specifically with what we have in front of us now, what do you think organizations should be doing first? Based upon the research and your experience, what do you think they should be tackling first from a strategic standpoint?
Yeah, that's a great question, and again, this is based on my experience and some of our research findings, but I still think we need to do more to kind of help organizations move from the tactician or tactical level to pure strategic levels of thinking about security and related aspects like data protection and privacy. But one of the things that we've seen as a good starting point is get a handle on governance. I mean, it sounds like a low-tech thing, and you know what it is? It is a low-tech thing. It's not about technology. That's a decision you make later. The governance is about assigning accountability, responsibility, the proverbial parity principle, where you have people in charge of making certain things happen. And if it doesn't happen, you're basically held to a standard. And that standard is if you're not doing your job, you're out of there from a security perspective. If you, as an employee, are not complying with the rules, there are enforceable rules, and there are things that will happen as a result. So building a governance framework that kind of gets your people in an organization, not just your security team, but pretty much every end user, every person in the organization, to take responsibility for their part in achieving a stronger security posture is a good first step. And strategy also gets you to places like, where should you position the Chief Information Security Officer? How do you make sure that the communication between that individual and the CEO and maybe even the board of directors happens at regular intervals, like on the state of security? How do you make sure that information is not filtered? Because if you're security, guess what? The information is bad news at times, and, someone between you and your CEO might say, I don't want to tell the CEO that we're not doing our job. Governance also means that you avoid conflicts of interest. So if you're the CISO and you report to the CIO, and a key finding on, or a problem in the security area is because the CIO organization is not doing something particularly well, that's potentially an issue, right, in terms of how do you get the message to the chief decision maker, the CEO, and maybe even the board of directors. Once you get governance figured out, then you can start thinking about people, like who do I need to have on my team? What are their characteristics? How much do I have to pay them? All of that important stuff. But you also at that point could start to think about technology. What technologies exist today that may be affordable within our budget that could help me maintain a strong security posture? And it's not a cookie cutter, although a lot of companies kind of implement the cookie cutter. The CISO moves from company A to company B in different industries, and in company A they kind of had these 10 technologies, and now they move to company B and they think they can apply the same technology frameworks, but it doesn't work that well. So again, governance, then personnel, and actually, later in the decision-making process, you start thinking about better technologies, and then trying to integrate it all so that you don't have an interoperability problem. That's what I recommend.
Thank you for listening to Secure 2020, presented by NCX Group. The latest updates on information security can be found at ncxgroup.com. NCX Group can also be found on Facebook and Twitter as NCX Group. Thanks for listening.